Hello, ladies and gents. I don't know if you can hear me. All right, we are live again for the Austrian Grand Prix, and sadly, due to a lot of people just being twats, we don't have that many drivers as expected. We did expect to have, I think, 17 drivers, and now we're stuck with a crisp 12. With Marco, I think, also joining in a minute. But hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm quickly trying to look if now I can join maybe a. Let me check. I can still not. PlayStation is still shit. Anyway, guys, welcome to the mountains of Spielberg for round number 5 in the Vgpr. My name is Sander. I will be your commentator for this qualifier session and for the 36 laps around one of the most beautiful tracks, I might say, on the Formula 1 calendar. And luckily, a track we will see a lot more on the Formula 1 calendar. I think it was like 2038. And hearing already from one of the drivers, there will be rain in the race. So that will be exciting, and hopefully we can have a great race. Although rain does kind of kill the whole overtake meta on this game and lift and coast. It's more just full on push. I mean, we had rain in the past in VGPR, especially around this track. I think it was yes, Mirko. I showed welcome Mirko, welcome buddy in the game, and I hope you can give us a beautiful qualifying. But sadly, only 12 drivers, which in my opinion, because a lot of people called off last second, so that will be definitely looked at by the owners of this league, because we do not actually improve. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think like around 10 drivers called off. So I think if everyone just came that signed up, we would have a maxed out full grid, and I think even a couple people that couldn't race. So yeah, that's actually kind of something we don't actually really like to see. I am quickly going to attempt something. If I can do it and pull up, it will be fun, but I don't know if I can. I am going to try and I'm going to try to look if I can stream on our TikTok and also get some people in, which also will be fun. I don't know if we can even go live. So yeah, I think we can. Just go and check something out real quick. Yeah, I'm going to work this out, I think, a little bit later. As Marble goes fast with 1.5.2, I completely missed his onboard lap. But I'm actually going to put my phone in the charger. I'm going to grab the chat of the race, so that will also be on. Still kind of, in my opinion, also not the most. Yes, Gerda already goes fast for 1.4.8. I think the laps will be in 4 lows, so expect lap times to be around there. Maybe if we'll see a 0.3 for the quicker drivers. Of course, championship fight is still on in the league. If Charker leading the way, a surprising candidate for leading the championship, as we see as one new driver's Thermal not having the best lap. Probably made a mistake, and he actually hoping he doesn't block Mr. Pizza, who's currently also, I think, I don't know if he's on the lap, but it's not draining that much. So I will quickly, I actually need to grab my charger for my phone, so I will quickly do that. There we go. And I'm going to check if I can maybe get the TikTok to chat to able to stream. So that will be fun if we can actually pull that off. So I think we can go live. Yeah, we can. actually going to test this real quick. So, oh, hope it. Trying to get. Apparently I'm not old enough. So yeah. Because apparently I'm doing my face scan, and apparently I mean I do have a younger face. So as actually Dave goes right behind Gilles, Pizza, not the best lap for him, probably invalidated on, and he certainly it has a couple drivers not in the best lap for third, especially in the 1.5.8. I expected more from him, also being a very great driver. Sorry guys, I am back. There was an important question my mother needed to ask me, as we also have another candidate with cars being also in the lobby. Welcome, mate. So that runs the number up to 30 people. So I'm actually going to put some stuff on. I completely forgot. Anyway. Well, I'm not going to do this because I need to. I'm going to do that later because I need to send in my ID, which I will probably do later. But everyone, welcome into the stream. As Marble is actually 2/10 down on his time, so I think this will be a great lap for him, as Gatos was out on his out lap, with also other drivers also being out. He keeps it clean between the white lines. Battery on, across the line it will go, and it is a P3 framing 1500. So great improvement for him, and maybe even contention for a future provisional pole. So I think I'm just gonna look with Lars also going into sector 2 with one of the Haas drivers. I think that's Gede. But Lars is the next driver to set a lap, of course. The Dutchman being very strong in the last season, in the mini season. He was my teammate and he had great results, but lacked in qualifying pace. And he's made up here with his race pace. But right now Lars down to the final corner. It goes a little bit wide, but keeps it between the white lines, which is important. And across the line, he will go to Fusion P1 and 48.5. So great job, Lars, to that improvement. So Lars also looking, but locking up, but he is 1.5 tenths down on his time. So for Gele, that is a great improvement. And I think also, we also see an Alpine crossing line now. I don't know. Yeah, that's one of is going to pit lane, which is KTR. Also commentated with him previously, the Norwegian driver. Gele goes a little bit wide on the curb, but luckily he did not invalidate. It's also a lot of drivers are starting laps, and I think that is I think that's Mirko. I think Mirko is the little bit of gray shade. You can see in going into sector 1 now and into turn 3. As we're quickly going to watch on board with Gele, but I did get on board. Just saving the battery, but it did not look look like a king lap from Gele. But the cross line he will go for a provisional P2. Does improve, but still a lot a lot of time between him and Lars for this track. So we're quickly just gonna go with Mirko, but he invalidated, so we'll watch with Cars. Cars is behind the Cadillac driver. In the Audi driver, of course, Cars made him sure that Charco got his maiden victory in Vgpr Tier 1. And for a long time, Charco was not victorious until last time, till Monza in the Tier 2, when it was a rainy race where Ferrari was fighting with him all race long. But now Cars does not have any battery in Sector 3, so he'll be slow coming down to Turn 9 and Turn 10. But Cars was burp on the middle sector, Charco to a 4.4, Cars on the limit. What will he do? Cars across the line. It will be a 4-7. Will split the Mercedes driver. It's an Audi 1-3, and Audi still looking like the team to beat in this qualifying and in Vgpr. If you're still interested in joining, there's of course a Discord link in the bio below. So yeah, actually I am going to maybe try again with the face scan thing, but I really want to go live on our TikTok. But yeah, I can actually not do it. Yeah, I think I just need to. Anyway, TikTok, have your way. It's kind of annoying that I need to. I'll just do this. No. I will just do that later after the stream. So I think with the next few VGPR race we can expect maybe a live stream. Or maybe not, because I don't know if I'm going to be streaming, because that weekend I am going to be in Zandvoort for the majority of the week. So I don't know if we're going to be home in time, I don't know if we're going to be able to do comms at time, but yeah, just know that. Anyway, with I think Cars pitting in, we have also Pizza with a actually pretty decent time with a 4.6. So I'm just quickly going to look at some stuff. As Pizza is going for another lap. He's already P5, as I think Dave improved to a steady. No, actually Gale. Yeah, Gale improved. No, a lot of drivers improved. Pizza improved, Dave improved, and Gale improved. I was actually looking on my phone for a quick second. But Chark is still the man to beat, so I'm actually really impressed with his pace, how great he has been doing. Because he was struggling a lot on the previous game compared to other drivers, but I think this lift and coast is certainly seeming to fit his driving style. And I do not blame him. For a lot of people, it's way easier on this game. I personally struggle way more on this game, I am going to admit that. I am not the same level of pace I had with the previous cars. I was dominant in qualifying. My race pace was not the best. I have improved on my race pace slightly, but my qualifying pace is slightly down the drain. So it did balance it out a little bit, but yeah, as Charker, I think he does. How is that lap valid? I hope for him he hasn't improved from that, because that was actually illegal how that lap is still valid from Charker. And he is 2 tenths down on his delta, so I do not think a little wheel flick from the Brit turning the car into turn 3 right on board with the outdriver. It is a beautiful car from onboard and from the outboard, as we have a yellow flag at sector 3. I think that is the Ferrari or the Alpine, that is, or the Williams, and really do not know. Charker hitting the gravel, so I think this will either be an in lap for him. Because remember, the track is also quite short, so you can get easily a lap in. But Charker actually improved in the middle sector by 700, so not bad for him. As we already, we have some complaints. It was the Ferrari with one I think was the thermal. As Charker goes into the pit lane, you can see him there in the background. As I think is someone on lap. Pizza has a valid, so it probably will go in. We have Thermal. Oh, Thermal! Oi! As soon as we watch on board with him, he goes deep into turn 4. And not the best start for Thermal. As we have KJR, teammate of Ferrari fan, still has not set a valid lap time. He has 3.5 minutes, so I think if he just keeps between the white lines, he can set a valid lap. Number 13 in the car. Of course, from Pesta Maldonado. I am going to quickly check if there's some people in the chat. So no, sometimes people are in the chat, but we have 9 people watching the stream at the moment. So hi, welcome everybody. Yeah. At the moment, my prediction for the low force is still not on. I mean, personally, when I did the strike, I did 4-2 back in, I think it was like July when I came back from my holiday. And we postponed the season a little bit by a couple of weeks to get some drivers in. I mean, the grid is looking a little bit better than it was previously. But we're still looking for people. We're still looking for just to rebuild this league. And if we are still going for it, so expect a lot more also streams, because there also one reason we was like, because we remember back in the good old days in season 2 and season 1, we had every week we had a live stream of at least a tier 2 race, and a lot of people watched that race. Sometimes we had a tier 1 stream if other people were available, and the times where it was actually streamed were actually very fun races, and a lot of people tuned in to watch. And if we can really see that helped out the community massively. If people know there's gonna be like a stream or something like that, then you can have just more people. As Cars and Shark, I don't know what they're doing at the moment, but it looks like Cars is staying behind his teammate. Maybe they're gonna try the outlet trick I've heard Shark talk about. But anyway, as Turtle is actually second to last. Same with Merkel is not having a great lap. I expected more from these. Merkel is now behind Charker, and he will probably go for a lap. And I think if he validates, he's probably able to go on. But we'll watch on board of the Cadillac driver. Merkel having great pace and has shown it a lot in Vgpr and also in other leagues where I've watched him drive. A little bit of wheel flick, trying to get the rotation in down to third gear to help with the rotation. And I completely agree, because these cars are horrible in some corners. They're understeer and the rear is so loose. Another wheel flick from the Italian driver. A lot of wheel spin on the exit. Merkel pushing that Cadillac to his limits. Luckily for him, it isn't realistic. If it was realistic, the Cadillac would be a boat. But that isn't. Late braking. And trying to carry as much speed to turn 4. Now to the fast sector, technical sector of the track. Not as much on the inside curve as you would normally expect from other drivers. Down to turn 8, we're going now with Mirko, and he is not purple in the middle sector. Wait, is he on the outlet? No, the game is bugged, because he says he's on the outlet, but I think he's actually on the post lap. So we're not seeing any deltas or anything from Mirko, so that's actually kind of annoying. But Mirko does not have any battery life in the final sector, but will be for Mirko a 4-2, so Mirko will actually improve. Oh no, wait, that's Charker. But Mirko, I think, does improve to an 0.8, but Mirko now straight on into the barriers, so that will be end of qualifying for him. But Charker improves to a 4.2, nearly in the 4-1s. But what can other people quickly watch on board with Lars? He is the close competitor to CJ, but right now, what will he do? Across the lane will go, and Lars does not improve on this time. His first lap was just better, as Dave will start his final lap as Turtle is also on a lap. But we'll see one of the Red Bulls, I think that's Marble, also starting his lap. Who is next across the line? I think that's the Ferrari. The Ferrari of Zeeland improves 2 tenths and goes to P2. A great lap for him, is ahead of Lars. Right now, who's next across the line? I think that's one of the one of the Alpines. And his Ferrari fan does not improve from a 5.3. Stays 12 in 12 as Thermal also still in the pit lane. As one of, I think it's Gele. Gele is one of the next Orst cars. No, it's Cars. But Cars is down in this Delta. So Cars has to pull off a mega final sector to order to pull it off. He does it nicely, but he's just way too wide on the exit, just a little bit, and does not improve on his time. The time was not looking steady anyways, but actually Mr. Pizza goes to a provisional P3. And Gele does not improve as well. But what can Dave do? Dave has not tasted pole position yet in Vgpr, but at the moment it will not be Dave to climb the pole position. I think Marble is also still... No, I think he's aborted. As everyone is out, Lars going into pit as Charker has set a pole position, I think, for the first time in the Vgpr Tier 1. So great shout to him, a great lap for him actually. So that will be, I think Charker will be happy for that lap. But we will ride back for you with the race. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Austrian GP. We're here for 36 laps in the wet, so that will be very exciting. But I have a nice refreshing beer, and we do not have a formation lap, so we're gonna go lights out straight away and lights out, and away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. CJ does not have a good start, and the Ferrari will already take the lead into turn 1. We see Lars trying to fight with Pizza, and McLaren going deep into turn 1. Trying to avoid contact with Gale, and Lars still staying in P4 as we see a lot of drivers change position in their backward. Cars having a very abysmal start, and we see there Mr. Marlon dropping back place, probably at the league over down into turn 1 we go right now. Still stealing on the inside, Charker trying to go down the outside, the Audi still keeping in touch with the Ferrari. Mr. Pizza still holding back in P3, but now right now Charker, as in our fighting wheel is now with the who has the lowings, who has the most, and Charker will take the lead, but the Ferrari will not give this up into turn 4. The both sliding, but the Ferrari goes deep, but Charker will keep his first position as we see there in the midfield. Place is changing. Turtle in the midfield, but Cars and Merkel both having a terrible start. Ferrari struggling with traction, but the Rhino with down inside. We see there the Audi going inside off Thermal going wide, getting pushed wide, and there it goes. Merkel around the outside is trying to go, but Thermal blocks him. Oh, and the Italian gets taken out by the Williams. Some of you do not want to see, but we see a lot of people on the wets, and some are on the inters. That's an interesting choice for some to drive. See 3 drivers on the inters, the rest are on the wet tires. But will the inters be fast after a couple laps? We'll see what will happen. That's probably the reason why Merkel and Cars didn't actually Ferrari's on the inters. Sorry, I thought Cars was on the inters as well. As we see also Shannon still behind Charker, but remember active aero is less effective in the wet weather. I don't even think it's active in full wet conditions. I think only the front wheel will clap a little bit open. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But batteries are used, and they're stealing it down the inside, looking for the move on Mr. Pizza, and luckily for him, Gerrit does not do the same thing he did last season. Gerrit still behind the Vgpr driver, looking for an overtake in the head. Yeah. Oh, I am out of breath. As Gerrit on the rear, Pizza needs to hurry up, thinks Gerrit. But Lars is already looking. He is very good in these wet weather conditions. He has proven that in China and in Las Vegas and in Austria. And don't forget, yeah. And don't forget Turtle as well. Turtle also very deadly. He won the Spa Grand Prix in this terrible condition as well, with Lars coming on to P3, and there Cars already on the rear. Our fellow Dutchie against a fellow Dutchman, and this will be a great fight of the Dutchies as we have the Audi first, the McLaren. Cars looking for the inside line into turn 9, but backing out of it. He knows it's not smart to overtake there, as just the Alpine of HR is holding up a little bit as the rest of the cars cross the line right now. But yeah, I am just gonna say I forgot to say something, and I have a fresh cold one out of the fridge. And we're gonna relay the classic that we made almost 1.5 years ago, but we're quickly gonna watch aboard. We have Gele on the rear of Mr. Pizza, trying to go down the inside, and he does with Pizza defense again, really aggressive with locks his front tire, and there Lars also looking in for a pass, but Gele is on the inside and is ahead of the Vgpr driver. It was coming, and yeah, you can always see the front wing flapping open. Lars still looking for an overtake as well, but he's driving back a little bit more. But luckily for them, it's no bad for you. It's just full on as HR and Cars and Turtle are fighting. Turtle trying to go around the outside. He has more grip with those wet weather tires. But right now, will he have it done? And that's a beautiful overtake from the McLaren driver. Turtle showing off his skills. As Cars looking for the inside, but we do not have a great camera angle, sadly. But Cars does make it stick, and I would love to see that from a replay angle. That actually does matter, because that camera angle we had there was not the best. We'll just keep watching aboard with the Audi as we speak, as Charker's trying to pull a slow gap away from P2. He's 7/10 right now, but the most important Gele is 1.8 seconds behind second place, and Gele is the main battle, the main man in the fight for Charker in the championship. And I think at the moment it's still I'm just gonna quickly pull up the standings with everything. That Turtle going wide, or was that? Yeah, that was Turtle going wide, and Cars making the overtake stick. In uphill we're going right now, but Cars have the inside line, but Turtle can break a little bit deep. Cars cuts off it. Cars goes a little bit deep. Maybe Turtle can sit up the switchback, but Cars keeps it on the road. And that's a great overtake from Cars. So at the moment, we have a yellow flag in the background. That's I think Mirko and Thermal making contact again. These two are not friends on track as Charker just keeps leading the way. And this is a beautiful camera angle we're having right there. We're just quickly watch with Gele. As Lars also dropping back significantly, as Dave is also right behind. Dave is also pretty good in these wet weather conditions. And I must say, the wet really shows which driver is the best with traction and everything. It really does matter. But I'm curious, as HR has a time penalty for multiple track limits, so that will be a pain for him to swallow. I mean, track limits on the track are going to be notoriously hard to keep away. But yeah, Lars struggling a lot, but Sinan actually closing the gap a little bit on Charker. We're in the 18.4s, but I'm really curious when the inter tires will be quicker, because in the previous game it was very efficient to start on the inters and just wait 4 laps, and then the inters were already really quick, and then you have to pit to the inters when you're on the wet weather tires, and that just did not help at all. But yes, Lars looking to defend from Dave. Dave just sticking behind, trying to look, but maybe Dave goes down the inside. He looks for the dummy. He cannot make it stick. Lars making it defend. And the number 8 on the Mercedes still holding up. Of course, funny thing about Lars is, when he first joined the league, I have no idea he had such a big editing account. So show this man some love on his editing, because he does make great edits, and also made a couple edits for Vgpr. So I really appreciate it, man. Huge love to you. But anyways, yeah, we're looking at the front, by the way, with the Ferrari having closed the gap to Charker. Charker struggling, sliding to turn 8 and 7. Oh, I did not say it, fuck you. Anyway, still sitting on the rear of that Audi car, and I think I'm gonna say this, I have missed this. I think I like driving. Ooh, the Ferrari a little bit wide of box, but keeping it on the track. But I do say I missed given comms. I mean, it's always fun to do it when there's a lot of action. I mean, some races are more boring and more exciting than others. That is something. I had also done some commentary in the Cars Goes Fast Level 80.2, but he is still he's on the rear of the teammate of Turtle, that being Dave, of course. As Dave is on the rear of Lars, so Lars will probably have to defend his life after starting. I think it was P4. We'll quickly get the position changes of the race. Yeah, Lars started P4 with Gator with a great start, Turtle especially, but Mirko already in the pit lane. And yeah, I don't know if he's going to go to the wets or he's going to retire. We'll see what Mirko will do. But knowing Mirko, I think he will probably call it quits. Still, we have CJ leading the way with the Ferrari still behind. The thing is about this wet weather, you do not have any battery at all, and it's so hard to race in the wet. We have had it before in Austria season 4, where Monarch went on to win a Grand Prix, and I came home in P2, struggling the whole race. I do not like the wet weather that much, as Mirko actually goes on to a fresh set of intermediate tires. Hopefully he gets a little bit more pace out of that, as Galen now with a fast lap track will get faster and faster. So I think the laps will be significantly quicker by the end of the Grand Prix. Maybe even go to inters, and those will be the significant tire. Yeah, but the rain makes it a little bit more exciting, but also a little bit more boring, if you catch my drift. But right now on board with cars, he's looking maybe for an overtake on Dave. And yeah, you can just see that in the rain you don't have any overtake mode. It is pure skill and pace, but cars now with the switchback on Dave, and that you can almost make a stick, but the traction is just not there for the Audi driver on the McLaren. And maybe try and look for an inside for a dive bomb. He will go for it. He certainly does. And Cars is a little bit wobbly on the rear, but maybe Dave for the switchback, but Cars blocks it up perfectly. And Cars moves up to P6, sorry, and Dave drops back down to P7. So a great overtake from Cars. That was beautiful racing we saw there. But yeah, oh wait, the Ferrari is actually dropped back massively compared to CJ. CJ tried to pull a gap, maybe the Ferrari made a mistake, because Gele is in a 1 second radius of that Ferrari. Yeah, also keep an eye on actually Ferrari fan has just overtaken Mr. Malabada, but we see Mr. Pizza in the pit lane. He goes onto the Inter tires, so he believes the Inters are the better, superior tire. So we'll see. We keep an eye on his lap times, but my important question: what will Mirko do? Because he is significantly behind the rest of the grid after making contact with Thermal. twice. On lap 1, I believe it was, and on lap 6. Nice refreshing beer, ladies and gentlemen. We had to say it. And yes, YouTube and TikTok. I am an adult. I am 19 years old, so I'm allowed to drink. Unless you're in the USA, which is kind of crazy. Because you're allowed to drive cars at 16. But you're not allowed to drink. Well, you're only allowed to drink when you're 21. How does that make sense? In the Netherlands, you can do both at 18. Hell, when I was in the Netherlands, most people do it. But Sharker dives into the pit lane. He's the first of the top runners to go into the pit, and hopefully he does not get... No, he does not get a 10 second, but he will probably go to the inters. As, yeah, I think some drivers actually made the right call going onto the inter tires. As also cars into the pit lane. He has to wait a little bit for his teammate, but I think this will be a quick stop about the Audi crew. It will be. Mr. Malebale also into the pit lane, as we see both Alpines have both made a great strategy call going on the inter tires, and they're now in 5 and P6 and P5. So great job to them. As still we have Ferrari now leading the way from Gele and from Lars in P3, and we have Turtle then in P4 with KTR behind him on the inter tires. So we'll keep an eye on that gap, how much that will change compared to the wet weather. So yeah, it looks like he is carrying a little bit on Turtle, but not that much. But I think those inters will be very hard to drive in. But we see Mr. Pizza is just a little bit behind Charker, but it's also gaining time. Charker with the cold inters. But they had a little bit of time before they were on, but Charker's already on the rear of Ferrari fan. So we'll see what will happen there, as we see Lars and Sillen both going into the pit lane, with also Turtle going into the pit. So we'll see what will happen there, as Ferrari fan and KTR will both actually go onto the podium places. So great up as Mr. Pizza gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit violations. That is not good, mate. So that will probably lose a Mr. Pizza fast up on 17.3. So the inters are definitely quicker at the moment. We were in the 118s, we're now in the 117s. But Gele pushing on though, so I don't know where Gele will end up. I think it will end up in P7. So Gele has to push on this lap, but he is losing time with both Alpines. And Charker is still looking for that overtake of Ferrari fan, who is currently P3, and his teammate is ahead of him. But it's 6 seconds between both teammates. As Merkel gets a 3-second time for multiple track limits. Merkel down at P12, not having the best race. We know he is rapid, we know he has pace. But Merkel does not have the luck most of the time to back it up. Charker, as we see Lars and Cars fighting along into turn 8. Lars looking for the move down the inside, but Cars made the overtake stick in turn 4, and he will have it his way, as Lars sadly dropped back. But Turtle actually went to the wet weather tires. I don't know if that's a mistake by him, or he thought actually, or he just forgot to change it. As we see Gele now pitting for Inters, he's the only one in the wet weather, and yeah, he will come in again. No, Turtle. Yeah, he will go into the pit lane. They've got a physics type for multiple track limits, so if you keep your nose clean, I think this will be the best for you. As we see Selen, behind Gele still, but Gele behind Mr. Pizza, who pitted very early, remember, for the front runners. But Turtle sadly made a mistake. I'm very sad to see it go, because he is really quick. Oh, we see there Mr. Pizza going wide in turn 3. Does that give Gele the opportunity to maybe go for an overtake into turn 4? Running aboard with Haas driver, but at the moment it does not look like he can, maybe, if he can do it. But yeah, I'm still also looking out for... I also still need to make a thumbnail actually for the stream, so I will definitely do that after this. I do have one photo of from Austrian with the cars, but I do like it to make it like with the race. But I think Chuck actually forgot to put on the formation lap, so I will have a little chat
with him about that, but it doesn't really matter that much. As we see, I think Charker on the rear of Ferrari fan. His teammate is leading the way and his Ferrari fan is good, but Ferrari fan is sliding with the race. But Charker also has a 3-second time penalty. Completely missed that. Ferrari fan is one of the few drivers in the top runners who has kept his nose clean and kept it between the white lines. But Charker looking for the overtake. We'll run on board quickly, but Ferrari fan is struggling for traction on those intermediate tires. As Turtle gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Going into turn, I think that's turn 7. Going into turn 7, turn 8. And CJ looking for overtake, but he has way more traction than Ferrari fan. Ferrari fan maybe looking to defend from his teammate. They both need to box still, but Chark is on the fresh intermediate tires. But I think the overcut can maybe work for some drivers. But yeah, Chark is still behind, looking for the move. He cannot make it stick, but this is the closest fight we're having on track at the moment. We also have Cars, Lars, and I think that is Dave looking for a fight. Mirko with the fast lap at 17.2, and he will not get the point, I think, for that because he's outside of the point scoring positions. It's Turtle again a 3-second. Turtle not having his race weekend. Very sad to see from him because he was really quick, and when he practiced, he was really good. So I can definitely hope to see him again and again. Shark is sliding a little bit through the final corner, and I'm thinking he's not happy that he's still behind Ferrari fan. He could have made the overtake at turn 3, but he went deep, made contact with the Alpine. But right now Ferrari fan is looking again. The traction is not good, it's 2 tenths. Maybe Chark can go for an overtake. Maybe down the inside he will go. He's 1.5 tenths. Will he go for it? He certainly does go for it, but he locks his front tires. Both cars do. They keep it clean. A little bit of touching. But right now Ferrari fan maybe has a better traction, but Chark hooks wheels with him. And that also gives the opportunity for Mr. Pizza. But right now Ferrari fan is still behind, and we're quickly just gonna watch like this from the TV camera angle. This is a beautiful battle we're seeing right now. Mr. Pizza down the inside of Ferrari fan still looking. Maybe when Mr. Pizza goes past the Alpine driver, Ferrari fan still looking to make it stick. Down the inside he goes. This is not going to go well, but Ferrari fan makes it work and squeezes his way past. They're still on wheel to wheel. A little bit of touching though, as now Gale ain't still going with. But there goes Gale down the inside, and there goes Mr. Pizza. Oh my goodness, it was a close call, but Mr. Pizza drops back down to I think it's P6, yes, even as Merkel goes again with the fastest lap. Jesus Christ, that was a close one. Oh. But Gator definitely has overtake of the week there for that moment, and that will definitely be a thumbnail shot if I ever seen one. But now Charker has a 7-second gap he needs to close, and Gale is 1.7 seconds behind, as we see still Ferrari from battling away with Gale and also with the Ferrari right behind him. Will one of them go for a dive bomb? I think the Ferrari will stay behind him. But the Ferrari is one of the few drivers who has the freshest tires on in the top 5, so that will be critical for him. Gale is actually the next one. Then we have Charker. Both. Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised that a lot of drivers did not start in the inters. A lot of them started on the wets. Well, it did work out on Merkel is banging fast flap after fast flap, so he is closing the gap to Turtle. But I think a fight for P11 is not what he would have hoped for. As again, KTR gets another 3 seconds, so that will basically not help his chance of winning. But Charker does have 3 seconds himself, so that will help him. The Norwegian driver looking maybe for a first victory with Vgpr in his debut, but right now is still looking for track limits on the track. But Charker only won 2 tenths on him this lap. So Mr. Pizza also in the 6-second mark. We'll just keep an eye on the tires, on what tires each car is on. So we see Mr. KTR with the fastest first sector. Can Charker match that? No, he can't. So maybe he's running a low wing compared to the rest of the field, but right now we're still looking there in the midfield. We see the Ferrari and the Ferrari fan fighting wheel to wheel, but still AK Ferrari fan gets ahead of the Ferrari into turn. But now Mr. Pizza having a look for the move, but right now look who's joining the party, and that is no wait, yeah, that's Mr. Pizza actually, but no, that's actually a lap to Williams. That's Thermal not having his best race, already getting lapped in lap 15. But remember, if you are struggling with pace, it doesn't really matter. But Cars has not gotten the overtake on Dave, so we completely missed that. But Dave going a little bit deep into turn 6. So yeah, Dave's still looking at the rear wing of that Audi car, also having a time penalty. Cars does not have a time penalty at all, but Tjarke is actually struggling to catch up to HR. So the Norwegian driver is looking very rapid on those inters, and he has to pit eventually. Those tires are going to be more of a slick tire, and it will not help him with traction. So if he goes onto, we have a yellow sector, and that is Lars. Was it Lars? It was Lars. Lars had a little bit of a moment. I think we saw a yellow flag there. Or maybe it was Thermal, maybe slowing down for the pack. But I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it was quite strange. The gap is taken to the high 7 seconds. See, another yellow flag. I think that's Thermal again. Thermal again, spinning his car around, but Merkel keeps banging fastest lap times like it's an average Sunday, so that will be good for him in order to close the gap to Turtle, in order to maybe get even a little point, because I think points do run out to P13 in this league, so I would just quickly grab. It's actually kind of sad. And I don't know the points isn't at my own league at this point. So yeah, we do run points down to P30, so everyone will get a point in this race, and I think Mirko will get his points for faster. So it will be 2, I think that will be 3 points. Yeah, 3 points fair. So the championship is actually pretty close, because the winner gets 25 points and the P2 gets 20 points. So it's like a 5-point difference, but there's a 7-point difference between P1 and P3. We are probably going to change it, as you say, for next season. We're probably going to have either of the original F1 point system, or we have a new custom one. Because I think in season 2, we had points from all the way down to P15, and then the winner got like 30 points or something like that. It was quite crazy, but it was quite fun. But Tjarker has now actually dropped in the 7-second mark, 7.2 seconds, and Gele is actually on his gearbox in a couple of corners, I think, because Gele is not actually producing enough space as Farfins drop back. The PS Turtle Masters retired for the session. Not the race for him. I'm sad to see him go. But yeah, car is trying to flick that car into turn 4. And is trying to get a little bit hot in my room here. Not the best race for Turtle. The yellow flag still in the sector 3. Oh, that's KJR! Oh, what happened here? He's stuck into the final corner. I don't know what has happened. He's back again. No, he's disqualified. Did his wheel disconnect? Tjarker takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix, but what on earth happened here? I think he disconnected or something like that. Like, I think his wheel disconnected, and that just prevented him from moving on. That's very sad. He was driving such a great race. An unfortunate accident from the Alpine driver, and that will sadly cost him, yeah, he's maybe even a win. As we're down to 11 men in this Austrian Grand Prix. We still have a yellow flag, 6-3. Is that? Oh, that's Mirko. Mirko having a moment as well. As I'm not actually kind of sharp today, so I do apologize for that. But we just watched a little bit with the cars. Ooh, a lot of cars sliding through turn 7 and 8. So but right now, Gille is actually your main man to win this Grand Prix. As we see Mirko having put it straight into the barriers, and a safety car is out. And I do not like his way, Mirko. And it's actually pretty nice for a lot of drivers. I think everyone will just go into the pit lane. But Mirko, we're gonna have a serious conversation about this, man, because this is just bullshit. Not, yeah, the safety car is actually Thermal as a driver was speeding under the safety car, so As we're halfway through this Austrian Grand Prix, we have a safety car midway through. Controversial one, I might add. So, yeah. As I think a lot of people will dive into the pit lane to get a fresh set of intermediate tires. And then we're gonna go again. And I think this is also very handy for cars. And especially for front, but Scharker takes a very weird line and gets overtaken by Gale in the pit lane. Not the smartest thing to do there, mate, Scharker. So Gale... And Gelle gets ahead of Charker, so... Ooh, yeah. And that was also a very interesting overtake. Gelle overtaking Charker into the pit lane. That's not something you see that often, especially in racing. Because most pit lanes don't even really give you that much of an opportunity to go side by side. But Charker went really deep into the pit lane, and Gelle just went for it. I'm actually kind of curious how Charker and Gelle would have reacted to that. But anyway, we're in 20 laps in, and I think the safe go in like 22 lap, lap 21. So we have then, I think, 14 laps of racing left in this Austrian GP. So actually, it's going past pretty fast, actually, I might add. So yeah. I don't know if there's any problems, by the way, guys. If you don't hear me that well, or my mic is crap, please let me know also in Twitch we're streaming Twitch in the chat, please, so I know that I can need to fix it. But we are going to get live on TikTok for the next stream, for the next race, so be aware of that. Maybe even Twitch if we're lucky. Anyway. I can probably stream this on Twitch, so I can just screen record my stuff and then go live on Twitch on the Vgpr channel and then just stream from there. Gelle leading the way under the safety car with Thermal in P10, but I don't know if is he lapped? Yeah, he is lapped, I think. So we will have to put in a little bit of but I don't know why, but he's driving. I mean, he's trying his best. That's the most important thing to do. I mean, lots of us are just enjoying the game. Some of us are quick, fast. Anyway, but for a lot of people, this would have been very handy, especially for Turtle, who retired, and yeah. I don't know why Chark is keeping that much of a gap between him and Gale, probably to avoid maybe a collision between him and the V-Carp. Safety car bouncing on the curbs though, it's actually really weird to see though. And that's a beautiful shot. But the safety car is in this lap, and Thermal has a lot of work to do to catch up to the rest of the grid. And he's right now going to turn 3, so he will not catch up. So at lap 21, we will continue racing again. Gelle setting the pace, trying to get some temperature in those intermediate tires. When will he go? That's the most important question. I think they are in the vision, but I think he will go on the exit of this corner. And he does. Really expected, but looking who was napping, and looks like Charker was the one napping. And maybe the Ferrari can get an overtake done. What is this camera angle we're seeing here, EA? Down the inside of turn 1, the Ferrari does not make it stick, but there's a huge slide on the exit. Right now we see Ferrari and the cars also making up places. Marble picking up a place on Lars. Lars not having a great restart, but we'll keep watching. CJ On the attack on Galen. Around the outside we go. Does CJ make it stick on Galen? But there's contact made. Charker gets the lead again after Austrian Grand Prix. Galen right behind. We're looking at the midfield as well. Maybe a Cars or maybe a Mr. Pizza. Try to go for an overtake. Down the inside. Mr. Pizza goes off the Audi. And that is a beautiful overtake, I must say. Ooh, well, oh wait, never mind. It's not that beautiful. There's contact made. Mr. Pizza made contact with Cars. As Ferrari being the one who actually suffered the most from that, dropping back massively, and we're just gonna enjoy this picture right here, with a lot of cars being close together, and we see there the Audi trying to look for an overtake on Mr. Pizza. Will he make it stick? He is gonna go for it. As both cars go off track right now. Dave still looking for the overtake on Cars. Cars going wide. Keeping the space for Dave. So that is great to see that these guys still need space. But there's a little bit of a touche between the two drivers. A little bit of contact. Right now Dave on the inside of Cars. And still looking great. But Dave has to settle back for it as Cars is looking for the overtake on Mr. Pizza again. Dave on the threat from Ferrari, and Ferrari looking rapid in these conditions. One is a wet weather race. He always seems to turn up somehow. Dave squeezing him out, locking his front wheel though, Ferrari. But right now Lars is also looking, maybe there goes Cars on Dave, and there's contact between Dave, keeps it on the track though. It's very chaotic here. Cars moving up, going wheel to wheel. There's a lot of drama going on here. We cannot get a great camera angle from this position, but this is beautiful. And there goes Cars. Contact made between 4 drivers. Cars getting spun round by Mr. Pizza. Ferrari is also the one driver who did not, it's for the second time in that corner, has made contact with an Audi. Not the best restart for him, but Dave now up into P4. This is a beautiful battle. We're seeing it as a yellow flag in sector 2, but I can assure you that is not happening at the moment. We see Galen still on the rear of that of Charker. But now it's still looking beautifully, or this battle is such art, even though sometimes it does get touchy, but it does make for beautiful racing. That's something we love to see, and that's something that's also pretty nice with these cars. The only positive thing, you can go for overtakes where you normally don't expect it. That's the only positive thing about Mr. Pizza defending well, but looking maybe for an overtake on Dave. It's 2 tenths back, but will it stick? I would really love an overhead camera view, but sadly we cannot always get what we want. Lars is chilling in the background, has seen a lot of the chaos, but sadly cannot profit from it. Cars maybe trying to go for a move, but Dave goes deep. Dave goes off track, needs to rejoin safely. He does it, but Mr. Pizza does give him the space. Cars having a lot of wheel spin on the exit. So, but right now there is in the midfield, there is Marley and Ferrari on the inside, looking for the overtake on the Red Bull, makes it stick at Lars, maybe looking for the switchback. He cannot sadly pull it up, but Ferrari keeps it 7th place. So great job for him. As at the moment is still Cars looking for an overtake on Mr. Pizza. You can clearly see Dave, there's a gap between the top 4, the top 3 and the rest of the grid. They're all close to each other. And this is beautiful racing we're seeing here. Doesn't matter that we only have 10 drivers. It is beautiful to see Scar still looking for the overtake. On the inside, he will stay behind the turn line. He knows he cannot pull it off there. As we're just really watching on board for these guys, because these guys are actually really entertaining. But they've starting to pull away from Mr. Pizza. Mr. Pizza maybe even have a front wing damage from all the contact he made. There is a possibility that he has that. If he has that, it will be very annoying for him through the corners, but Cars looking still for the overtake. You can see that the Vgpr is just putting up sparks from the underwear, from the plank of the car. Luckily for him, cannot just get disqualified. Cars looking for the inside line, but Mr. Pizza blocking it off horribly, and that is a huge accident between the both competitors. Mr. Pizza just completely blocking off Cars, and Cars is not happy about that one. Both are dropping. Mr. Pizza gets a 10-second time penalty, and in my opinion, it is Mr. Pizza who did not leave the space at all, but will let the stewards do their job, and I think this will definitely be a report. So at the moment, Marbley on the rear, Ferrari dropping back out of the 1 second of Dave. It's now 2 seconds behind. They may be looking to close the gap in front, but at front is still Charker from Gale, who is now your provisional leader after time penalties. But yeah, also Fryfan and Marbley also looking clean with the time penalties. So if they keep it up, they can probably maybe finish. I think Dave can maybe get a podium here. My apologies, Fryfan he has potential for a podium if he can keep up with Dave, and if Senna the Ferrari makes a couple of mistakes, he can definitely pull it off. But Lars looking maybe to get closer to Mr. Malabale. These two have had some contact in the past. I believe it was in Silverstone, where I got disqualified actually from overtaking on the safety car while trying to go in the pit lane. That was actually a pretty salty moment for me, I might say. So yeah, and knowing the editor of this channel, they will probably make a video of this and pass a clip of me raging and demanding a restart. Not my proudest moment. And yes, I did got disqualified from the end result, so that's that. But it's still looking like the same it was. I missed that beautiful battle we had in the midfield, but I think it will be returning with cars looking to get close. But Mr. Pizza 60 seconds time penalties. That race is ruined for him. He's down in P9 after starting very high up. We're gonna quickly look at the position changes. Yeah, he started P3, now in P9. Thermal started last, and we also have KHR start 7th, and Merkel's not having great qualifying, but we have Ferrari fan making up a lot of plays, so great job with him, and also great job on the team for getting the strategy right. Cars with the fast lap 1:16.6. Cars is actually, knowing him, not the happiest right now. He was pretty pissed off at me when we made contact in Hungary in F7R, and to be fair, it was hard racing in my defense. But Cars looking for the inside line, maybe on Lars. Lars does leave him the space. Cars a little bit greedy on the throttle. You can hear it, that Audi engine roaring, the revs going up sky hill. But Lars again, Cars losing time on the Dutchman. We have actually a lot of Dutchies in this league, so appreciate it. I myself also a Dutchman. We have Lars is a Dutchman, Cars, Ferrari fan, and Gele. And I think even the Ferrari of Senna also a Dutchman. So we have a lot of Dutchies on the grid. But that's just the thing with the Netherlands. The league racing community is really massive here. Like, it's really big. And I actually quite enjoy it. There's a lot of quick Dutch drivers also, which actually makes up quite a fun, because I know a couple of drivers who are actually pretty rapid who are all Dutch. I can name a couple, with Rafael being one of them, Pim, with Kevin, and a lot of other names I can name up, but that will be all day. But the yellow flag is second one, that is Dave. Dave, I think, oh wait, was it Dave? Or was that Thermal? I think that was Thermal, by the way. Yeah, Thermal moving out of the way. He does it nicely, so respect to that, as Shark is under pressure from Gele. We'll keep an eye on this one, but we also keep an eye on Mr. Malabado, who's also right behind Ferrari fan. Ferrari fan did pick up a time penalty from track limits, so his chance of a podium actually wiped clean away. So looking at the leaderboard at the moment, so it is also looking pretty decently for most drivers. But just keep an eye on the tire life and everything, as the Williams actually does really lovely. And he moves out of the way, so respect that. A lot of drivers don't even do that when ghosting is on. They just keep on pushing, then you have a ghost car half and you put half the race. Which, trust me, it is really annoying. I've experienced it myself in a competition. And yeah, the team actually, I think, ended up getting a heavy penalty, and had a qualifying ban for both drivers, because it was actually hindering me a lot. I think it was back in my SAT days on 24. Yeah, Cars with the fast lap again with a 1:16.5. We'll just quickly keep an eye on the Dutchman looking for an overtake on his fellow countryman. He has also Marble ahead of him, and also Ferrari fan, so that maybe he can get another 3 overtakes done and climb into P5. It will be massive for the Dutchman. Looking for an overtake, takes the wire line, maybe trying to get more traction, but Lars blocks him off, which is allowed, of course. Not that it was too aggressive, but still, Cars look for the move. He got P2 in Bahrain, maybe looking again for a great result. Down the inside he goes off the Mercedes car, and they keep it clean between the two gents, and Cars moves up into P7, and Lars gives him the space, but Lars actually also looking for a provisional P6, I think, due to the time penalty he has in front of him. So if Lars just keeps his nose clean, he will move up a couple places. And Gale is still looking for that race win, but I think he will just keep it safe and stay behind him. But knowing, as we see that cars getting past Mr. Marble, I actually missed that. Sorry about that. It was actually a pretty nice overtake. I was on the exit of turn 8 into turn 9 we go, now turn 10. The car's still looking for the overtake of Ferrari, and he has the better pace cars compared to Ferrari. So we'll see what will happen between those as Dave is actually pulled away and actually closing in the gap on the Ferrari. So actually the Ferrari of Salin box dropping back 2 seconds compared to top 2, but Gale is still looking for the overtake. I know he wants it. The race in him is telling him to overtake him on track and not sit back and wait for penalties. But Sharka has a little bit more straight out speed, only gaining 1/10 on the straight, but you have to be really close. But Thermal retires from the session in the pit lane. Sad to see him go, but yeah, the pace for him was just not there. He would have gotten, I think, 4 points even for just finishing P10, so that would help Williams in the constructor standings. But yeah, if you're just not feeling it, then I can understand why you're retiring. Yeah, you got 4 points for P10 in the championship. So that will be interesting. But now Gele is way closer than he is before. But I'm just quickly going to look at cars. Because he's on the rear wing of Ferrari. Can he make an overtake stick into turn 9? We'll go. He's looking for the move. He cannot make it stick. But right now we'll just watch what will Gele do. He will stay behind, I think, for another straight and then go for the overtake. A little bit wide though, a little bit sliding for both cars on exit, but Gele has way more wheel spin, so he has to make it stick in this corner. We'll still keep an eye on cars. He's 1 tap behind Ferrari from now. Gele stays behind him still. We're just quickly gonna watch with cars. What will it do? Up into hill. These are the close battle we'll see. We'll keep an eye also on the delta between CJ and Gele. Right now, Ferrari defending the inside line, locking his front right tire. Cars maybe looking for the switchback, getting better traction on the exit, and as Gele does not make it past, but cars can maybe get the overtake down, but Ferrari has the inside line. But will cars make the overtake stick? Maybe he can, but he has the better grip, but goes a little bit slidey on the rear, and still Ferrari looking to defend his position, the wheel hook, which is not the cleanest thing to do though, as Mr. Pizza goes to the hard tires. No, he's definitely trying to ruin his race then. As Ferrari just sliding out of road or running out of road and just loses the rear. And not the greatest for the Belgian driver as well, I might say. But Ferrari losing places, maybe even get swallowed by Lars and by Mr. Marble. We'll just keep an eye on him. But right now, Lars maybe looking for the outside. This is a beautiful battle we're seeing here. Lars just had to back out of it. Otherwise, it would have been very disastrous for the Ferrari, for the Mercedes and for the Alpine. As Dave gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple track limits. But Ferrari still not giving up this fight. Still looking maybe for a steady P6 finish on track. But right now Lars is also on the rear of that Alpine. Lars has the better traction. Maybe even the low wings. Ferrari trying to defend it. Trying to push Lars as far as you can to the outside line. But Lars, can he go maybe for the late braking, but Ferrari defends it nicely. Lars maybe with the switchback. Lars with the switchback indeed, but can he pull it off? No, he simply does not have the traction to pull it off. As also cars is hunting down Cian, as actually, by the way, he has lost a lot of time as Dave is now up in P3. I've completely missed this battle, so my apologies. But yeah, it's now Gele and CJ with 4 laps to go, but Dave now climbs up into P3, as Cars is also looking maybe to get a possible podium. But Marble is looking actually the best maybe for that podium place. Yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? That is Mr. Pizza. But he's on the hard tire, so I don't know what he was doing. And he has front wing damage actually, so yeah. No idea what he's doing. But still, we have to fight between these top two, the 2 title contenders in this race. This car again with the fast at 160.3. 2, sorry, but 700,000. You don't even know the difference between the 3 and that. But right now, looking still for the overtake. Gele is still looking for it, but he just cannot make it cannot make it work. If I was him, you need to overtake. Because you don't know if Shark can get that 3-second remove. He went wide in some corner, lost like 5/10, and then got the track limit violation for it. But Gele is still looking maybe for the overtake. He's staying behind the Audi car. And maybe Shark can claim his second victory. Even can pull out at 3 seconds, but that will be difficult because Gele is really consistent as Cars moves past Senna. But Senna making a lot of mistakes. The Ferrari man dropping back place after place. And Dave is now in hunt for a provisional P3. So great job to him. Scars is 8 tenths to close. And then I think he's in podium range. If we're looking at the penalties. Yeah. But cars losing the rear. Oh, that was very close indeed. From the Audi driver, just pushing on that car. Looking for the overtake. We're just gonna quickly also watch with the rest of the field as Sen is actually driving back massively. Has he had either damage to his front wing, or is just massively his tires are just dead? It's either one of them. But not looking the best race for him. The Ferrari driver struggling massively as Mr. Marlebelli looking for the overtake. Active air on, and that straight on speed is massively. But what is happening to him? He's just letting everybody go. Either he has some damage or some sort, or he's run out of fuel. I don't know what's happening with him. He's just purposely upshifting through gears, slowing himself down. So I will definitely be taking a look into. Because yeah, it's very strange. In a way, it's still between these two. Oh, my apologies. Charker looking for the overtake on his fellow rival, and can he pull it off? There's Galen on his rival. There's 2 laps to go in this Austrian GP. He's sat behind that Audi car for almost the whole Grand Prix, but I don't call it a Galen mode without a dive bomb into turn 3 and then maybe murdering a family of 4, if I might say that. But Lars still looking also maybe for that P5. He definitely gets P6 after Ferrari fans penalties get added on. As CJ still looking, we have a yellow flag, and that is the Selen. I really don't have any clue what's happening with him. I have a gut feeling he actually ran out of fuel. That is just really strange. But anyway, we are still looking for this exciting battle. This will happen on the final lap of the Grand Prix. We're also keeping an eye on the midfield battle for P5. But right now, what will happen? Will it be the Audi man, or will it be the Haas? But at the moment, it will stand. It will be the Haas driver who will probably take the win away, and Gator will probably be victorious again in Vgpr after not, I think, winning at all in this entire season. I'm just quickly going to check to get my facts right. Yeah, Gator has not won. Gator has not won a singular race, so this will be win number 5th different winner in VGPR. In the first 5 races, we had 5 different winners. It was looking maybe to get another win for Charker, but that 3 seconds totally ruined his chances for the win. Gator sliding a little bit on the rear, but I think he already knows it, that he has this win in the pocket. Charker trying to put everything, maybe Gator makes a mistake, but Gator is struggling. Is now getting pulled out a lot of the DRS. We see yellow flag in the sector 3, that is the Ferrari and Mr. Pizza, but I think Mr. Pizza will be flagged off on this lap, so we will not have to watch that. But right now, Gator's actually struggled a lot on this final lap, trying to keep with Charker, but at the moment it will stand. It will be Charker who will cross the line first, but he will not win the Austrian Grand Prix due to the 3-second time penalty. And it will be 5 different winners in VGPR Season 5. Lucky number 5. And Gele will put in the hunt for the title, as Gele will win the Austrian Grand Prix with Chark getting that 3-second time penalty. And the Haas driver will be victorious in the mountains of Spielberg with a wet weather race, as I think Cars actually stays in P4. As we see Dave returning to the podium, Mr. Marlebelli gets to P4, Lars gets to P5, Cars drops back to P6 due to time penalties. Ferrari fan is in P7. We have the Ferrari with Mr. Pizza, but Selen and Mr. Pizza crossing the line. But it's lucky number 5 and a new winner in VGPR in Season 5. As I don't know what's happening here, a massive car power up. I'm just going to look here. Anyway, congratulations to Gele for winning the Austrian Grand Prix. And this will be a very good comeback despite what happened in the mini season and the season 4, where he had a very, not the best race. But right now, Gelle is victorious in the mountains of Spielberg. So congratulations to the Haas team and the American team for their first victory in season 5 of VGPR. And I'll be right back shortly with you for the podium results.